Hola, welcome to Mass Leaders. This is Minutes with Ruth, and I'm so excited to talk to you this week. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your snack, and let's get started. I know you all have busy lives. So this week I sat down and I interviewed a veteran, a mom, and an executive. And the conversation was deeply impactful, but the word resilience kept coming up. And although that's a very popular word these days, and as a first generation leader, I don't just want to celebrate that word today. I want to question it. So here is my angle today. Let's talk about resilience, but through the lens of motherhood, execution, and a full time career. Because what stood out to me wasn't how strong Mirdalys was. And go watch the episode, by the way, if you haven't seen it. It's how often she had to switch from being on a call as an executive to being in the military to being a singer to being in school now to become an attorney, all of these different things that she had to do. And also being a mom, from leading at the highest level to being fully present as a mom to holding everything together in between. So for all of you that are moms, and have careers and have to juggle it all. And then we say, my goodness, this is so fun. I am resilient. I want to talk to you. As a first generation leader, you know this rhythm too well. I know it very well. I have two kids of my own and they keep me on my toes. So we know what it means to execute. And we also know what it means to be exhausted, right? Like, oh my goodness, I can barely have a cup of coffee. So cheers if you're drinking coffee. To show up even when no one sees the weight you carry and the weight I carry. And we call that resilience, right? But here's the truth. Resilience isn't always strength. Sometimes it's survival. And survival mode, it doesn't turn off just because you became successful. So the real question becomes, are you leading from intention or are you still reacting from what you had to be? I remember growing up, I was raised in an environment that felt like we were constantly surviving. We were constantly trying to figure out what was next. I can't remember how many times we moved when I was young. I can't even remember how many schools I went to, even in elementary or middle school. And now that I'm older, I have a hard time attaching myself to something. Whereas a lot of people that perhaps have something or like something, right? You take it away or you move, and for them it's chaotic. For me now, because I never had a ton of sense of stability, it was more survival. I can let go easily, but that doesn't mean that's a good thing. And sometimes I confuse that with, oh, it's just because I'm resilient. Well, it's because I had to learn how to survive, to be quite honest. I'll give you an example. I just bought this mug. I love mugs. I really do. This is my new obsession. I don't know if it's because I'm old and I'm 40, but I love mugs. And so I just got this mug and I love it. I use it all the time. For the last 2 weeks, I've used it. It brings me joy. It brings me happiness. And the other day, my son told me something that was really funny. He said, Mom, can I use your mug? And I said, sure. And he said, what if I break it though? And I said, that's okay, honey. The fact that I said that so fast made me understand and brought me back to those thoughts of survival. Of I really had nothing that truly felt like it wasn't changing. My life was constantly changing. And so now when we become older and as moms and as leaders, we bring those survival habits sometimes to how we lead and how we see life as first generation leaders. And what first generation leaders really means is we're the first one to do something that perhaps wasn't done before. So in my conversation with Mirdalys, as a military veteran, juggling all of these different things, I thought to myself, there's so many of us right now that are juggling so many different things and so many balls feel like they're up in the air and constantly trying to lead, but still having those survival thoughts and those survival habits. And it makes it harder for us to lead. It makes it harder for us to ask for help because we're so used to what felt normal before. So that conversation opened all of these thoughts for me. And if you're a first generation leader, And if you felt like you're always on, this episode is going to hit home. In this episode, we talk about the different things that we have to do as moms sometimes, right? As a mom, you don't just wake up, get ready, do your makeup, and call it a day. I don't know about you, but I wake up and I think about all of these different things. Now, I'm thankful because I have a phenomenal partner that supports a lot of the things that perhaps I have to do during the day. But there's lunches, there's practices, there's sports, there's other activities, there's 20,000 emails from schools and teachers about the work that's going to happen and what you have to do. What happened to the days of writing it in the note? I get emails from work and I get emails from school. And if I have to scroll through one more email, parentheses. But I thought about all of these things with that conversation and how we always aspire to do more and be more. Mirdalys was a veteran and she was in the military. She's also a singer and she's also an executive. And now going to be an attorney and all of these different layers. See, people see the result, but they don't really see the process. It's important for us as first generation leaders to have a support system, to have a group of people that you can rely on, that you can just let your hair down with and say, I'm tired. Like, who else has done this? I look around and no one else around me has done this. So just hear me out. I'm exhausted and I don't know if I'll be able to continue to do this, but I'm going to keep going because I want this world to be better for my kids when they grow up. And so that's a conversation worth having. I kept thinking about the friends that I have that are currently in similar scenarios, and we run so fast and so hard that we forget to check on each other. That as leaders, we forget to send a text and say, hey, I'm thinking about you. I'm praying for you. You got this. Have a great week. You know, we forget that. We forget to do that. And those things matter so much. So if you're a mom, if you're a leader, I want to tell you today you're doing it really, really well. And sometimes not having a footprint, sometimes not having someone before us that we could look up to and say, hey, you did X, Y, and Z, so now I know what to do. Most of the time, the first one's doing it, and we don't have a footprint. We don't have anything that we can follow. So we need each other. So I'm here to tell you, you're doing it wonderfully. And if you're a mom, you're a wonderful mom. If no one has told you that today, I want to remind you, you are amazing and you're doing it great. So if you're a leader and if you want to hear more about the multi layers and facets of a mom and career and military veteran, go listen to the full conversation with Mirdalys on the Mas Leaders podcast. This is Minutes with Ruth. See you next time. Adios.